Still I know hard to see, even if I have my chin up. Nigga trying eat, so don't hold my dinner. And everybody asks me, what's such little soul in the world? How you seem to got so much in ya? Down to earth, nigga, but not my worst figure. Give a little insight whenever I write it, help them dream a bit bigger. That's a trick. It had me thinking. Dwelling on the bed, had me falling off the deep end. Focus on the past, man, the cuss just deep. And if I let it sink in, it had me sinking. Never let her feed above the energy. Nothing but the devil, but the inner. And I ain't wish to ask, but you know the music give me something I can't fix. Something I can't fix. Tryna find what's real. Never know my head. So I've been fucking on the dog, mama said that. Kids, I've been dug dogs, no be still. Busy trying not to lose myself. No. Something I can't fix. Tryna find what's real. Never know my heels. So I've been fucking on the dog, mama said that. Kids, I've been dug dog, no be still. Busy trying not to lose myself. So
all right, let's get right into it. I would first like to give a recommendation. This cologne right here, this Jimmy Choo cologne, smells really fucking good. If you're into more like creamy scents, like rich, it's masculine, it's fucking amazing. It smells very similar to the one of the Valentino colognes, which is like double the price. This you get for like 40 fucking bucks. You're gonna smell like woo, hella fucking good. Without any further ado, I'm going to get into a lecture building upon what I've been talking about, which is really just being conscious of your own mind, being conscious of your own thoughts, the things that go on in here. See, I've been really experimenting with this for a while, and I've been getting better and better and better and better at it. And up until recently, I've really been understanding it and just cracking the entire code behind it. Being consciously aware of your own thoughts. Now, what does that entail? What does that mean? What do you mean being aware of your thoughts? You see, all throughout the day, your mind is going to constantly keep kicking things up into your mental space. It talks to you, it brings up random images and ideas and things like that. And oftentimes it's going to bring about certain negativities, and you have to be very aware of that, because most people are just lost in their own minds, lost in their own heads, and they just kind of drift with their thoughts. If you're not familiar with the book, The Master Key System, within that book, it actually says that you have to be the gatekeeper of your own thoughts, of your own mind, of your own consciousness. You're the gatekeeper, okay? Now, what that means is as you have thoughts come into your mind, you're going to have to label them, because you have to remember, if you're unaware and you have a thought come into your head, let's say, oh, I'm just going to be forever broke or something like that. Let's take money for an example, because everyone's stressed about money. I'm just going to be broke forever. See, that thought comes up, and if you don't do anything with that thought, if you don't label it as not true, then your subconscious mind is automatically going to process that as a true idea. And you're going to manifest that more into your life. So if you're thinking, I'm just going to be broke forever, what you should do is you got to zap that idea down right away. You're going to have to be like, no, that's not true. That's bullshit. That's just my mind speaking to me. That's just my mind being negative. I am not my mind. The mind is not me, because I would never talk down on myself like that. Right? Why would you talk down on yourself like that? Anything like that comes into your mind, you have to be able to pick up on that and fucking kick it out of there. You got to hit a command with another command. Oh, I'm just not confident. No, fuck that. I'm fucking confident. Even if it feels like you don't believe in it, you have to knock that negative thought out of there. And this is how you slowly restructure and reprogram your mind. Because the subconscious mind is powerful. I mean, every book talks about it. Every book goes into details on how powerful this mechanism is. You know, you got The Secret, you got Think and Grow Rich. There's countless books on this subject, but do people really understand the powers of this? I am just beginning to understand these powers and to understand it. And I've been on this journey of trying to figure it out for the last, I don't know, 4 years or whatever. Ever since the idea became real to me, like you could meditate and control your mind and control your thoughts. And then through that, you can change the fucking outcome of your life that way. And it sounds magical. However, to me, it's just about, it's more so like being in line with not being in line, but you're putting your own life in line, kind of. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if that's the best way to put it. Perhaps I don't have the all of the words there, but it's not so much magical as it is just common sense to me. And to most people, this whole concept of meditating, manifestation in the mind is some esoteric type of thing. No, it's just, all it is just you controlling your own mind and your own thoughts, which will ultimately control your destiny, because you're nothing but acting out your ideas, acting out your expressions, acting out your moods and whatever pops into your head. You know, some people have more self-control than other people do. And to that degree is if you have no self-control and you're just constantly going with what's in here, you're going to have a chaotic life. You know, we have to be able to sort it out all the way down to the smallest of things that come into our head. It basically, anything that comes into my mind that's not negative, or I mean that is negative, and that's not in line with my purpose, I'm just going to automatically write it off as bullshit. I'm just going to automatically write it off as not true. And when things do go south, even a little bit south, it doesn't matter. I'm going to write it off as no, this is happening because there's a higher purpose behind it. This is happening to me because this is actually what I need to go through. This is happening to me because this is what I need to do in order to get stronger. So most people, when things go south for them, things don't exactly go their way 100%, even 80, 70, 60, 50%, they're going to write it off in a negative way. No, fuck that. Alex Palacio writes it off in the most positive way, because I see anything, good or bad, as something necessary. And this is where Stoicism comes in, something necessary in order to make me grow, make me stronger, make me learn something new. And that's what it all comes down to. That's what it all comes down to. And I think this is how you achieve and create and grow a true, powerful, winning mindset. You are the gatekeeper of your mind. You are the gatekeeper of your thoughts. Don't let any bullshit through those gates. No bullshit through the gates. So as you practice and you become more aware and more conscious of what's going on in here, expect the changes to happen out here. And that's part of what this whole process is about. The whole entire AZD process is very mental, lots of imagination. And I mean, imagination is just a whole other field of its own. What is imagination? Because it's almost like it's both conscious and subconscious at the same time. You consciously imagine, right? You could create that painting, that song, that letter, that website. It's conscious, but then where did the ideas come from? The ideas are more subconscious, right? Like Beethoven, for example, that music, how much of that was fucking subconscious? Where the fuck did that music come from? But it took a conscious effort to you know, sit down and write out the notes and to create the beautiful symphonies that Beethoven made. But isn't that a fucking trip? That's a fucking trip. How is this not the religion? How is this not what people are all trying to figure out? And instead, everybody is just wrapped up in just utter bullshit. And no wonder why things are the way they are. Thank God for IMC and the brothers that we're surrounding ourselves with. Thank fucking God. Because the more we venture into the world, the more we're just like, ugh, fucking gross out there. You got to put on a fucking biosuit sometimes. That's how I feel every time I go into my job site. I got to wear this like biosuit, and I'm coming out of there, I'm all brushing mud off and shit. coming back into this holy temple that we're creating. What a trip. But you know, glad to be here, glad to have the knowledge that I have and to be a part of this experience, the Base 2 experience, which I actually think I want to go into discussion with tonight with Will. Cam? Oh, it's all good, Phoenix. But yeah, I think tonight's discussion, I really want to link up with Will and just talk about you know, the residency experience at Base 2, and you know, how we think people benefit from it. It's not the Base 1 experience, but the Base 2 experience here that people get when they come, it's the closest thing they're going to get to the Base 1 experience at a fraction of the cost. At a fraction of the cost. And as we all become leveled up here, more guardians, you know, like Gio and Newberry and Johnny Ranger become guardians, we become even closer. So right now we got Will, the base leader. He lived with AZD for a fucking month. Me, I did about 2 weeks. So, you know, we got to see a lot, and we get to take what we saw at Base 1 and bring it back into our base. This is why Base 2 is going to be, it already is one of the dopest fucking bases. Because we're really involved with the process. We're really involved with going out with AZD. So for the guys, and most of the times they're not going to be able to stay at Base 1, just come to Base 2. It's a fucking no-brainer at that point. No fucking brainer. No brainer. What time is it right now? But yeah, back to the talk on the mind and the thoughts and everything. This whole entire subject has been getting me through quite a bit. And with AZD's teachings of the unbreakable, I feel a lot different in my day-to-day interactions. People seem, it feels like, it seems like I can't be bothered. That's what I think. Like, no matter what someone throws at me, I'm not really going to be bothered. But at the same time, I'm waiting for a motherfucker to say something sideways to me. It's a trip. It's a trip. I'm waiting for that moment. I mean, I've already corrected I checked this guy at work already, and I'm like, who else needs to be fucking checked, or who else wants to disrespect me? Otherwise, you know, I got something for you, and I'm not afraid to voice. I'm really not afraid. But on the bright side, though, I know that being on this process, you know, we all carry ourselves a certain way, and the way that we carry ourselves, it protects us in the long run. The way that we act and we maneuver through our environments and social situations where problems arise, we're fucking communicators. We handle things really well, really well. And you'll be surprised. The more I've been experiencing things like this for the past 2 years since hopping on the process in 2020. And time again, you find the proof in your day-to-day interactions of how this process truly works. I mean, everywhere I've gone and my new temporary part-time job, whatever you want to call it, I've ran the environment as needed when I needed to. During my whole entire training session, which was about a week long before we actually worked, people were trying to figure me out and figure out who I was. And it was a very strange experience. I don't know if strange would be the word to label it as, but it was an interesting experience. And then the guys that I was cool with in there, they kept trying to figure me out. And the best thing that they came up with was, oh, you're just a player. I was like, oh, you figured me out, huh? I'm a fucking player. No, not really, just kind of joking about it. But you get experiences like that. Like what makes me so important that people got to figure me out so much? I just heard Johnny Ranger's experience during his whole training session. I think he should fucking debrief that shit. He's already starting to spit game in the training sessions. He's not even working yet. I mean, Jesus Christ, I was spitting game right off the bat. I was walking up to fucking random girls inside of the factory, I saw some fine girls in there. They work in the office areas. Fine fucking girls. Just opening, like it was nothing. And then to people, when other people see you act in a way that's so free, in any type of free, let's just use gaming as the example. I mean, there's many different versions of being free and acting free, but let's just say gaming, for example. When they see that, you're kind of like I don't want to say, okay, let's just say God. You're like a god to them. You have some sort of superpower, because most people can't do that. They're like, what? Whoa, what the fuck? I've been talking to one guy who I work with. I like the dude. He's a good guy. He recently hooked up with his neighbor. He hooked up with his fucking neighbor, bro. And he's all talking to me like, yeah, you know, but I really want like a relationship with her. And, you know, but she's like, she says she wants to take it slow. And she says, you know, but she's just not, I keep asking to hang out with her and she's not hanging out with me. And I'm just like, he said like he kept asking for other people for advice. And the first thing I told him, I said, oh, look, bro, stop asking these other people for advice because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And he like froze and looked at me. I was like, yeah, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I said, first of all, bro, you already smashed your fucking neighbor. You won, bro. You won. You smashed your fucking neighbor. How many guys could say they wish they could only sit and wish they had sex with like a cute or hot neighbor chick? I said, bro, take your fucking badge, take your fucking stripes and run with it. Stop getting caught up over wanting a fucking relationship with this girl, bro. Because she probably just wanted to smash her neighbor. She probably had a fantasy of that shit too. Not like she wants to get all serious with you, man. Go talk to some other fucking girls, getting one-itis and shit. I delivered it to him much like this, just the real fucking truth. And now this guy follows me around every day, coming up to me, asking me just random questions about girls and shit. And his other little friend in there is always coming up to me. He's like, hey, why you teaching him all the game? I'm like, bro, you're not telling me any stories. This shit is fun, bro. It's a fucking trip, bro. It's a trip. What a way to live when we know what we know. You know, and it all starts in the mind. It all starts within, changing internally and then externally. But fuck, I love that idea of being the gatekeeper of your thoughts. That's what the fuck it is. You are the fucking gatekeeper of your thoughts. Anything stupid, negative, that's just bullshit that you don't want in that motherfucker, you label it immediately. True, that's not true, that's not true, that's bullshit, you're making this up, you're tripping, bro, you're fucking tripping. And then nudge it to the positives. Why? Because you're winning, you're a fucking winner. And like I said, even if things go a little bit south, things happen for you that way because that's how it was meant to fucking happen. That's how you're gonna fucking grow. That's how you're gonna learn. That's how you're gonna get stronger. And it's happening and you're dealing with it because you're capable of dealing with it. So deal with it, motherfucker, and move forward. And look at, like stoicism, look at the other fucking things you can control. AZD said he urges all of us to go back into stoicism. Study your stoicism. Let's get into it. I went through the books. I don't even remember how many times at this point. About 2 to 3, Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius, and you know, a bunch of these guys. Is there like one thick book that I could just buy that has all of the Stoic teachings in it? That'd be sick. You know, I wouldn't mind spending $70 just for a giant book. Or maybe, what if you go on eBay and there's like some like old Stoicism books, like really old ones that are like collectible or some shit. I don't know, because don't they erase things out of the they erase things out of books over time, supposedly. You know, books get edited. We may not know. I don't know. This is just a theory here. I don't know. What if there's old Stoicism books that they've actually erased certain pieces of knowledge or information out of, or they just didn't incorporate it into the modern ones that we buy on Amazon, buy at the store or whatever. See, I don't know, man. I don't trust all this shit. All buying books on Amazon. Like, what if they are fucking edited? Like, what's the oldest version I could buy? What is that original print? Fuck, is it in a museum somewhere? Fucking A, fucking hell. Can I just break into that museum or some shit? I don't know. And it's like with YouTube. I was saying in my last live, doesn't everything on YouTube seem to be kind of surface level? A little bit surface level? Like the real shit, the real dope shit, you gotta dig for it and you find like on a website somewhere, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's just the way I feel. But yeah, looks like we got Will on. We got Phoenix is here. What's up, Phoenix, brother? I know your camera's off, but I just want to say what's up, man.
Thanks, brother. I'm really enjoying your talk so far.
Hey, man, it's dope to hear. Dope to hear, bro. How you doing over there?
Busy moving into a bigger bus, and I've just setting up a new bus for Jesse because he's going to base up with me.
Hey, fuck yeah, man. The expansion is real, bro.
Yes. So, but I'm just dealing with some wet weather and flooding here at the moment. So,
Real?
yeah, such is life. No dramas, such is life. So, yeah. All right, I'll let you carry on though.
No, yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, it's definitely raining and a lot of wet weather and flooding over here as well too. Which is it's pretty funny too because you know, people, you know, they walk around like just because it's raining, like they don't want to drive 5 minutes away, or just because it's raining, you know, it's like as soon as the weather gets bad here in California, it turns people into giant fucking pussies. That's what it seems like. And I look back on myself in the past. I did the same fucking shit at times. I'll be like, oh, it's raining. I don't want to go here, go there. Like, what the fuck? Since when did a little bit of water ever hurt anybody? You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Just you know, don't hydroplane on the fucking freeway. You know, just drive a little more carefully. But you know, I don't see the weather as ever being a big hindrance, and I don't think it ever should be. Especially, you know, we're fucking men, all right? I don't know. I just hear it all fucking day working in this normie ass factory. I hear the excuses. Everybody is just full of fucking excuse after excuse after excuse. Man, I'm so consciously aware of making excuses. So it's fucking ridiculous. And it's like, they're oh my God. I don't know. I'm just so glad. I am so glad that that at least I'm aware. Like if I'm about to make an excuse, that I'm making an excuse and not just like bullshitting. You know what I mean? Just more awareness, and that's what the process ultimately brings us, is just a lot more awareness, way more awareness. I've been meditating much more heavily. I've been going more into my mantras much more heavily. One of which I'm not going to share it yet. Very personal one that I've been using for a while, that I use specifically to manifest. And I used it in the past before I grew my first business, and in the midst of growing my first business, it was my favorite mantra that I used pretty much religiously. And my results have spoken for itself, man. Spoken for itself. To be able to grow a business like that. Growing the second one, I just got off the meeting with Yogi Chris, and I'm talking about the clothing line that I'm working on with the guys, the Illuminated. And, you know, I'm kind of, you know, I have this tendency to get into the details of things because this is my passion. I like to get into the nerdy details of it, bombarding him with details. But he made a comment basically like, okay, you know, sounds cool, but, you know, let's see it make some money. And I'm like, you know what? You're fucking right, bro. Because I could sit here and talk all of the details about a new business all day. As good as it sounds and might look on paper, let's have it make some fucking money. So true. So true. Same thing. Like, you know, we could sit around here and talk about all day about how we're expanding the base, right? Sounds good in a topic, looks good on paper. But hey, let's actually fucking do it. Let's get the results. We're creating, right? And I think the gift of creation is it's tied into everything. It's all from within. Subconscious to conscious, Beethoven symphonies. You know, it still trips me out. People like that have existed, that just created amazing things. And where the fuck did these ideas come from? Where did all of this come from? If you talked to me a year or two ago and I were to go back in time or some shit and talk to my old self, back when I was dreaming all of this up, back when I was dreaming and hoping and thinking these things up, and be like, man, I'd say, you know what, man, like don't even stress, don't even worry about it, because it's gonna happen. Just stay focused. Just stay focused. I guarantee you I would have been able to enjoy things a little bit more. Not getting too caught up in the anxiety of all of it, because when you want something really bad, you want it really, really bad. You know, you think about it all day, you know, before you sleep and when you wake up. But that's the clue. That's the clue right there, that you're going to achieve whatever it is right there. Because you're obsessed with it. You're fucking obsessed with it. Fuck, man. I mean, what is obsession? I see obsession as like, it's like you take the energy and you crank it up to the maximum of like, that's all that there is. That's your shit right there. Os Will Rios. Os, brother. And so yeah, so we'll remain obsessed with the idea of our own growth, obsessed with the idea of our own expansion, obsessed with the idea of what the future holds, just obsessed with a fucking obsession itself, because an obsessed motherfucker is a passionate motherfucker. And I'm sure that a passionate motherfucker is an obsessed motherfucker. Obsessed with what? Whatever the fuck that you want to be, man. It's a free fucking world. We're free to choose and do whatever it is that we want. But we got to start with mastering our minds first. Because they kept this knowledge from us. They've kept it away from us for way too long, way too fucking long. The gatekeeper of your own mind. You are the gatekeeper of your thoughts. So let's start with anything that comes in that's not in line with our purpose. Oh, got a phone ringing here. We say, fuck that shit. And we just build off of that. Keep writing down our goals, our plans, our ideas. You know, like Phoenix, how is that base going to end up? You know, what kind of things are you guys going to do? Because once you come together and you're with your brothers, there's a whole strategic process that's going to start happening. It's going to happen naturally. You're going to start strategizing, man. And you're going to start getting creative and thinking like, well, in what ways can we move? What spots can we go over to? You know, what can we take over? What can we create? What can we make happen? And how are we going to get there? The whole strategy behind it. And it's all creation at the end of the day. So I think I'm coming up on my time right here. This was an amazing and a powerful lecture. And I thank everybody who attended it. Come back later on tonight. I got to at least talk with Will Rios first, run the idea by him. Either way, I'm going to do a second live and just bring something dope to the table to talk about. Let's talk about bass too. If you're starting a bass, if anybody's starting a bass or going to live with their guys, you got to listen to this topic, because of the way that we're doing it is going to be dope. It's going to be dope to come listen to. So, Os brothers, be the best, fuck the rest. Alex Palacio, Base 2, motherfucking San Jose, California. I'm out.